To the people of Zimbabwe, revolutionary greetings. Today is World Refugee Day. We take this time to remember our compatriots who are outside this country, either as political refugees or economic refugees. About 26 years ago, most of our people left this country as a result of political violence, internal displacement, political suppression, and the economic meltdown that had happened because of the misrule of ZANU PF and its leadership. Currently, the situation in South Africa is dire for Zimbabweans, and indeed other African nationals who are not South Africans. There are xenophobic attacks on non-South Africans in South Africa. I want to appeal to the people of South Africa that we are one people. We are Africans. We today are coming to South Africa because our country is not well. We are coming to South Africa to offer our skills, to look for economic opportunities. Remember, comrades in South Africa, that these things can happen to you. In fact, your country is going towards that direction. And one day you may want to come to other countries. How would you feel when you are treated the way you are treating other people? But what is important is that the South African government is doing nothing meaningful about xenophobia. The Zimbabwean government is doing absolutely nothing to ameliorate the situation of our compatriots. We call upon the Zimbabwean government to take proactive actions to protect our nationals within the borders of the Republic of South Africa. Comrades and friends, Thursday, the National Assembly voted on CAB3. In terms of our constitution, for CAB3 to pass through the National Assembly, it requires a 2/3 majority. Now, there are 280 members in the National Assembly. What that means is that the 2/3 majority threshold was 187 members of parliament. For reasons not yet clear to us, only 181 members of ZANU PF turned out on that day. That means ZANU PF as a caucus, ZANU PF as a party in parliament did not constitute 2/3 majority on that day. And had the vote been confined only to ZANU PF people, then the CAB3 would not have passed. Unfortunately, some of the MPs in the opposition, especially in CCC, 35 of them went and helped the ZANU PF by giving it 35 votes. And with those 35 votes, ZANU PF was able to amass the 2/3 majority that is needed for the CAB3 to pass. There has been a lot of blame shifting amongst the factions of the CCC. That blame shifting does not help the people of Zimbabwe. What that meant is that there was no leadership in that parliament. What that meant, if we analyze the figures, is that both factions of the CCC voted with the ZANU PF. There were people that were brought by Chabangu. There were people who were there since 2023 election, who voted yes for this constitution. These people, some of them were given a lot of money, cars. Some were given money, $50,000 in one instance that we know. We also know that there was a businessman who promised $3.6 million for MPs who would have voted yes. However way you look at it, comrades in the opposition, the CCC sold out. The CCC MPs bear the blood of Zimbabweans in their hands right now. They are no different. Those who voted no, they are no different from Morrison Nyati, who sold our compatriots, our comrades and friends who lost their lives in Nyazonya. This is modern day treachery. And the people of Zimbabwe now know who their friends are. We salute those MPs that braved it out against the threat of recalls, to still vote against this constitution. Bravo, bravo, comrades. And you should never give up. You have our respect, you have our support. But to the treacherous ones, we say, quoting the Bible, mene mene, mene mene, tekela umfasini. This is the end of your political careers. You have sold the people of Zimbabwe for a mess of pottage. We had thought that we should, in the National Assembly, try to force a vote by secret ballot. But upon reflection, the vote by the open vote was good in the sense that it showed Zimbabweans who their friends truly are and who their fake friends also are. This is not the end of the story in the parliament. The bill still has to go to the Senate. As we said before, ZANU PF does not have 2/3 majority within the Senate. If the CCC refuses to vote in the Senate, then ZANU PF will not be able to raise 2/3 majority. Then the CAB3 will not pass. But it is a big call. It remains to be seen whether the CCC people in Parliament, especially in the Senate, are going to vote with their stomachs or are going to consider what is in the best interest of the people of Zimbabwe. We encourage those comrades to look at the bigger picture, to look at what is in the best interest of their country and not what is good for them. Ladies and gentlemen, this constitution introduces what was introduced in apartheid South Africa, qualified franchise. There are people in Zimbabwe who will not be able to exercise voting rights when it comes to the office of the president. We also call upon the CCC, in the very minimum, in the Senate, to negotiate and get back those things that are dear to the Zimbabweans. But the first port of call is the total withdrawal of CAB3. The second port of call will be to take back those rights that are germane to the people of Zimbabwe. ZANU PF, comrades and friends, is not negotiating in good faith. It has never negotiated in good faith. This ZANU PF leadership is a group of transactional leaders. They will not give you anything. And therefore it is imperative on the CCC caucus in the Senate to use its leverage. Without the CCC, without the vote of the opposition, CAB3 will not succeed in the Senate. So we wait, Zimbabweans, to see where our senators are going to vote, where they are going to vote in. Ladies and gentlemen, the bill has to be referred to referendum. In terms of the Constitution, where the bill affects the Bill of Rights, in any way, it has to be subjected to referendum. Under the current Constitution, all Zimbabweans are above the age of 18 are able to vote for the president. Now, according to this bill, out of the 17 million Zimbabweans, only 350 people are going to vote for the president. The 350 people in the parliament, they are going to vote for the president. We need unity, ladies and gentlemen, to fight this bill. It does not matter that you are ZANU PF. It matters not that you are CCC. It does not matter that you are MDC. What matters right now is that you are a Zimbabwean and you are there to protect the Zimbabweans right now and the Zimbabweans for the future. We are also going to litigate, ladies and gentlemen. The Constitution says that if it is effect on the Bill of Rights, then we must go to referendum. And we put the Minister of Justice on notice. We put ZANU PF on notice that if you want to avoid a referendum, then you must take away those clauses that enable, that demand a referendum. The Constitutional Court ruled recently on the application brought by some war veterans. We have had chance to peruse the judgment. We are saddened to note that the Constitutional Court of Zimbabwe is avoiding work. The Constitutional Court, as has become the norm over the years, when faced with serious national questions that need to be determined in a substantive matter, resort to technicalities, resort to excuses. We want the Constitutional Court to pronounce itself on the validity of this bill, and we will be approaching it again. We must not allow divisions in this fight against the CAB3. Ladies and gentlemen, our Constitution allows us to demonstrate. We are going to demonstrate. It allows us to call for stayaways. We are going to call for the stayaways. There are people in Zimbabwe who are benefit under the current system. They are a minority, the oligarchy, the Zimbabwean Guptas. But the rest of Zimbabweans are suffering. And we need to show our power as the majority. Right now, the judiciary is being used to harass members of the opposition. The judiciary at this court called Withdr, especially in a court called Court Number 6, the Remand Court, is committing serious human rights abuses against the people of Zimbabwe. When it comes to any other person, bail is a right. When it comes to the MDC and other political parties, bail is not a right. It is automatically refused. We put those judicial officers on notice that they must not abuse their positions. They must apply the law as the law. Comrades and friends, your party, the MDC, is not going to fold its hands. We are going to approach SADC. When the Zambian president, the late Zambian president, wanted to extend his term, the SADC leaders, including President Beki, President Mohaye, President Mugabe even, approached President Chiluba and told him that SADC does not agree to people who want to extend their terms. If they did it to Zambia, they must do it to Zimbabwe as well. We will approach the African Union to exercise its responsibility to interfere, to positively interfere with what is going on in Zimbabwe. We will also approach the United Nations. It is time to think of Zimbabwe. Zimbabweans are afflicted with the debilitating poverty, inequality, and unequal access to national resources. We are grappling with the problem of state capture and corruption at the highest levels. Our country is internationally isolated. Our economy is excluding the masses. We do not have equal access to health, to education. Right now, our neighbors, Zambia, have now free education. Zimbabweans are grappling with the problem of demolitions. And this problem is being visited upon the poor and the deprived. We have seen now the attempts to introduce a system of qualified franchise. Ladies and gentlemen, we must understand this system that is coming in the context that it is coming. Zimbabwean state is now captured by the Zimbabwean Guptas. These people who flout false philanthropy, whose income, whose wealth is unexplained, are exerting pressure on the current government. And they are doing that for an ulterior motive. They are able to buy members of parliament, as they have done on CAB3. When it comes to the presidential election, they want to install their stooge. And remember, these people are captured by criminals, controlled by economic criminals. And it will be the economic criminals who will be able to buy each and every one of our MPs. 350 MPs is not a big number. And they are able to give each MP $1 million US dollars in order to secure the presidency. After which, they will plant the resources more. So we must not allow a situation where a person gets to the throne of power because of money. We want them to get there because of the merit, because they are popular with the people of Zimbabwe. So Zimbabweans, we must refuse. We must refuse this CAB. We must refuse this disenfranchisement. And we must refuse this criminality. Together to the end, comrades and friends, we are going to succeed. They say that our God will never give us a problem that is not equal to our size. As they say in the book of Joshua, fear not, for I am with thee. Fear not the king of Babylon, for I am with thee. And they also say in the Bible that I will overthrow the mighty men. I will overthrow their chariots. So when it comes to the issues of the nation, the issues of the people, I want to quote President Mnangagwa as I end. The voice of people is the voice of God. The voice of the people, and therefore the voice of God, is saying no to CAB3. If you doubt us, send the bill to referendum, and you will see for yourself what God will say. I want to thank you, the people of Zimbabwe. Aluta continua. Thank you.
Everything started to attract more attention after Douglas Mwonzora spoke strongly about Constitution Amendment Bill number 3, also known as CAB3. He made it clear that he believes this bill could change important parts of Zimbabwe's constitution in a way that may affect the country's future. According to him, this is not just another political discussion. He believes it is an issue that every Zimbabwean should understand, because it could touch the lives of ordinary people today and in the years ahead. Mwonzora explained that the Constitution was created to protect every citizen. He said it was written to make sure that power is balanced and that leaders remain accountable to the people. Because of that, he believes any major change should be handled with great care. He argued that if changes are made without enough public involvement, many citizens may begin to lose confidence in the country's democratic system. As the discussion continued, many people began paying close attention to what was happening. Supporters of the bill believe the proposed changes are legal and can help improve governance. They argue that Parliament has the authority to debate and pass constitutional amendments through the proper legislative process. On the other hand, critics like Mwonzora believe some of the proposed changes are so significant that citizens should have a direct opportunity to decide through a national referendum. This debate has quickly become one of the most talked about political issues in Zimbabwe because it is about much more than politicians exchanging different opinions. It is about how the country's constitution should be protected and how future generations may be affected by decisions being made today. If you are enjoying this update, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you clear and balanced news updates every day. One of the biggest concerns raised by Mwonzora is voting rights. He believes every Zimbabwean should always have confidence that elections are protected by strong constitutional rules. According to him, whenever changes are made to laws connected with governance and elections, people naturally want to understand exactly how those changes may affect their rights in the future. He says transparency is important because trust is built when citizens clearly understand what their leaders are doing. Another issue he raised is the economy. Mwonzora argued that political certainty plays an important role in attracting investment. Businesses often prefer countries where laws are stable and where long-term planning is possible. His position is that uncertainty around constitutional changes could make some investors cautious while they wait to see how events develop. Supporters of the bill disagree with this view and maintain that the proposed amendment is part of the country's normal constitutional process and should not be seen as a threat to economic stability. This difference in opinion has created a national conversation. Some people agree with Mwonzora's concerns, while others believe the amendment is necessary and fully within Parliament's powers. That is why the debate continues both inside and outside political circles. Many legal experts have also joined the discussion. Some believe the Constitution already provides a clear process for amendments, while others argue that the scale of the proposed changes deserves broader public consultation. This legal debate is expected to continue as different groups study every section of the bill and explain their interpretations to the public. For ordinary Zimbabweans, the biggest question remains simple. How will these developments affect everyday life? Many people are thinking about jobs, business opportunities, education, healthcare, and the overall future of the country. They want stability, economic growth, and confidence that national institutions continue to work for everyone. As events continue to unfold, many citizens are closely following every statement from political leaders, lawyers, and Parliament. Everyone understands that constitutional matters often have long-term effects, which is why discussions like these attract so much public interest. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest Zimbabwe news updates. Your support means a lot and helps us continue bringing you important stories in simple English that everyone can understand. The coming weeks could be very important as more discussions take place and different leaders continue explaining their positions. Whatever the final outcome may be, many Zimbabweans hope the process will strengthen public confidence, respect the rule of law, and support a peaceful future for the country.